Hi guys, just wanted to talk to you about a subject we haven't really discussed before. I was asked during the week by one of our listeners, Lost Arts Radio, what about a video explaining the relationship between chlorine and like chlorine in swimming pools, or chlorine in drinking water, and iodine and the thyroid function. And the thyroid is a gland. It's like a shield. It's in front of your windpipe here, just below the Adam's apple in men, and in the same place in women. And it's really important. Some people call it a master gland, but there's no doubt that it has a huge effect by secreting thyroid hormone on the whole metabolism of the body, all the other glands and organs. And thyroid is a really critical element in that gland making the thyroid hormone. So the cells in the gland have receptors on them that can hook up to thyroid as it goes by in the bloodstream, grab it and take it into the cell that way. But the same receptors on the cells can pick up other compounds in a group called halogens, like fluoride and bromine and chlorine, the one that we're talking about. So those aren't supposed to be filling up your blood with those other halogens. But when you're in a really unnatural environment, not just by drinking chlorine, which a lot of people do, but because it's used in water purification, right, in the municipal water systems, but also when you bathe in it, in your bathtub or your shower, or especially when you spend a long time swimming in it, in a public swimming pool like I used to do when I was a competitive swimmer long ago in the early 60s in junior high and high school. And when you just sit in a hot chlorinated water solution, or after we were done with several hours of working out every day, we'd go in a hot shower room with steam coming up and all this chlorine vaporizing. You could smell it, and we never thought anything of it. And you absorb it right through your skin into your bloodstream. It's not a good idea. And with me, it resulted in a messed up thyroid function, and the doctor said, in fact, the doctors didn't even say that they didn't know why it was. They just didn't even think about why it was. That's not their department, right? They said, well, what toxic chemical can we give you? Medicine, right? That is gonna block your normal thyroid function and make everything great. And if not, we start cutting out organs. It's really stupid, but it's what they memorized in medical school. And they just measure the amount of hormone in the blood and put you on the appropriate chemical to raise or lower it. It's really bad for the body, either way. So the thing is, it would be a lot better if we understand not to take in chlorine. Don't drink water with chlorine in it. It's really bad for you. And this is just, I can't tell you what to do, of course. I'm not a medical doctor, but that's what this guy, Dr. Bees, that I just watched on YouTube, was agreeing with. And Dr. Brownstein has done a lot of work with it. And many other good doctors realize how important the thyroid function is. And you know that if a chemical in your bloodstream or your lymph or your body cells is a toxic residue, if it affects one gland, it's affecting all of them. The body's not compartmentalized by specialties of what kind of doctor you're seeing. It all is one piece, and it works together in amazing coordination that the doctors have no clue of, or the academic scientists or anything. So the best that we can do is support it, watch everything you do in your everyday lifestyle, and don't do stuff that's toxic and bad for you. It's really that simple. And do the things that your body needs, the sunlight and the fresh air and the organic fresh food, and clean water, ideally spring water in glass, but if you can't get that, at least purified water. Never drink water with chlorine or that's been in a plastic bottle, because a plastic is, to put it simply, basically solidified petroleum, and it leaches into the water. They happen to get caught with the BPA hormone, so now that it's in the public. But That's only one of thousands of hormone disruptors. And you don't want to drink out of plastic. It's not worth it. Makes a lot of plastic trash, of course, much of which ends up in the oceans. But when you just drink out of it, it puts this very low concentration solution of plastic derivatives into your body. And over time, they result in a problem, just like chlorine did for me. So I hope this answers the question that was asked by one of our listeners. And the thyroid is just one reason that you don't want chlorine in your system, and you don't want it coming in through your skin. Don't put anything on your skin that's not good to eat. That's a good general rule to follow. And that includes, you know, makeup and lipsticks with lead in them and hair dye with carcinogenic chemicals and all that. You have a choice. You can either be oblivious to all that stuff and then get blindsided and surprised by the negative results when you get diagnosed with some really bad disease later on, and the doctor says, nope, not connected to anything, here's the treatment, because most of them have no clue, and they don't look at cause and effect. They just look at trying to force things, you know, force nature to change, which doesn't work well. So it's really totally in your hands. You know, you don't have to age in the usual way. You don't have to get degenerative diseases or infectious diseases for the most part either. The body's natural immunity is very powerful, and everything you do in your life either helps that or works against it. So learn. Living in this kind of environment, in the, I guess they call it the real world, right? You have your choice. Either suffer the consequences or educate yourself. And I recommend option 2. It feels a lot better, and you actually might find this stuff interesting. So yeah, educate yourself. Don't take in chlorine. Don't swim or shower or bathe in chlorine. Don't eat or drink anything that has any halogen in it. Fluoride is absolutely a disaster. It's never helped teeth at all. That's a total nonsense, and even getting into the data on the CDC website proves it, because the times that they point to that the tooth decay went down where they were using fluoride, they go to other countries where they weren't using fluoride and the tooth decay went down by the same amount there. So it was some other cause. It had nothing to do with fluoride. Was not helping anybody, and it's still not, but it builds up. It causes bone problems. It causes thyroid problems, causes IQ reduction, causes all kinds of stuff like that. Don't take in fluoride in any form. Don't let them put it in your kids' mouths or anything like that. And bromine, which is in a lot of the non-organic flour, is really a bad idea to eat that stuff. And they know it, okay? I mean, the conventionally educated people that have gone through higher education in public health and medicine and stuff like that, they may not know it, but anybody who's still got common sense left and investigated any of these things, they know it. And at the top of the power structure, where they make the decision to start putting bromine into the flour and other foods that everybody eats, they know it real well. They know everything it's doing. So don't fall for it. Don't go along with it. Educate yourself. Take responsibility for your own life, and you get a lot of rewards from doing that. You feel a lot better. So just wanted to share that with you. Once you get through the fixing your health and your energy, and you're getting rid of your susceptibility to disease, and even if you've got some bad health conditions from making mistakes, like all of us have to some degree, there are ways to reverse it. And if you get ready to really seriously work on that, and on the deeper aspects that are not even physical, that radically affect everything in your life, check out planetaryhealingclub.com. When you're ready, it'd be nice to see you there. In the meantime, have a good rest of the day, and I'll talk to you soon.